For one full week, I ran my whole business through ChatGPT, Claude, and Gemini. I gave all three tools the exact same work to see which one is actually worth using. By the end, one had become part of how I work every day. One was only worth it for a very specific kind of business owner, and one I could barely find a reason to open. The reason I did this is that all three cost about the same, and every one of them tells you it's the only one you'll ever need. They can't all be right. So instead of trusting the sales pages, I gave each of them the actual work I do in a normal week and watched what happened. I wasn't testing coding or anything complicated. I was testing the plain, boring jobs that fill up a small business owner's day, and I judged them all the same way, on how good the answers were, how easy they were to use, speed, accuracy, time saved, and whether they were worth the money. On price, there's almost nothing in it. ChatGPT Plus and Claude Pro are both $20 a month, and Gemini comes in a penny under at $19.99. Let's start where every business owner loses too much of their day. Email. I gave all three the same job. Write a friendly follow-up to a client who still hasn't paid an invoice. ChatGPT handed me a solid professional draft I could send as it was. Gemini's was fine too, but a little stiff. The kind of email that sounds like it came from a company rather than a person. Claude was the one that surprised me. Its version read like something I'd have written myself, warm but not soft, and I barely touched a word. What set it apart was a bit of judgment. Chasing a late payment is awkward to write, and Claude kept the message light without letting the client off the hook, which is normally the part you have to fix by hand. Then I pushed a bit harder and asked each one to rewrite it and make it firmer, the way you would when a client is really dragging their feet. ChatGPT and Claude both got it on the first go. I needed to go back and forth with Gemini a little more to spell out exactly what I meant before it gave me what I wanted. Its firmer version either barely changed or swung too far and came out rude. If email eats up your mornings, Claude's the one I'd keep open for it. Writing my own emails is one half of it. The other half is the writing a customer actually reads, and that's usually where a sale is won or lost. So that's where I looked next. First, an angry customer. Claude handled the tone best here, saying sorry without turning into a doormat. ChatGPT was close behind, and Gemini's reply was the one that needed the most cleaning up. Claude's version owned the mistake, apologized once, and went straight to fixing it, which is how you hold on to a customer who's already annoyed. But the moment I moved over to selling, the order flipped. For the marketing copy, ChatGPT had the best feel for making something sound good without going over the top. Claude's still read well, but Gemini's felt like a template with the words swapped in. You could see the difference. ChatGPT wrote a line I'd happily put on a real shop page, while Gemini's read like it was filling in a form. So if writing for customers is a big part of your day, Claude and ChatGPT are the two I'd trust. So far, Claude and ChatGPT were neck and neck. What I wanted to know was whether any of them could think like a business owner, or whether they just hand me a pile of buzzwords. So I gave them a real problem. Some of what came back was creative but useless, the kind of plan that assumes you've got a full marketing team and money to burn. One even told me to run a paid ad campaign across 3 platforms in a single week. The grounded ones were the opposite. Ask past customers for a referral, run a small offer on slow weekdays, or team up with a nearby business that shares my kind of customer. ChatGPT gave me the widest spread of ideas, and Claude gave me the ones I'd actually use. That matters more than being flashy, because an idea you can't afford is no use to anyone. Writing and ideas are one side of the job. The other side is the paperwork. And this is where the 3 of them finally split apart. Every business owner drowns in documents, and the worst of them are long contracts full of legal wording nobody has time to read. So I gave all three a contract and asked for the plain English version. Claude was the one that read it most carefully and missed the least. It's built for long documents, and it shows. It pulled out an auto-renewal clause and a late fee line. The other two skated straight past. The kind of detail that costs you money if you miss it. Then I handed each one a spreadsheet of my monthly sales and asked a simple question. All three spotted the clear trends, but only Claude and Gemini caught a small dip I'd have walked straight past. And this is where Gemini finally earns its place, because it lives right inside Google. If your files already sit in Google Docs and Sheets, it can read them without you copying and pasting anything. But after a full week, what mattered just as much was what they would be like to use in the long term. ChatGPT was the steady one, the tool I never had to think twice about. Claude was the calmest when I needed something written properly, even though it was sometimes the slowest. And the difference I felt most by Friday was memory. When I went back to something from an earlier chat, ChatGPT and Claude usually remembered. Gemini lost the thread more often, so I kept repeating myself. None of that turns up in a quick demo, but it's what decides whether you're still using a tool a month later. Its real pull is simply that it's already sitting inside the Google apps you use all day anyway. As for the money, all three are easily worth $20 a month if you'd use them every day. The real mistake is paying for all three when one would do the job. So what's the verdict? There's no single winner here, and anyone who tells you there is hasn't really used all three. It comes down to what your own day actually looks like. If you're only going to pay for one, start with ChatGPT. It does most jobs well, rarely lets you down, and it's the easiest place to begin. If your business runs on writing, whether that's client work, content, or wading through long documents, Claude is the one that sounds human and reads carefully. And if you already spend your whole day in Gmail docs and Sheets, Gemini is worth it purely because it's already there. The best AI for your business isn't the smartest one on paper. It's the one that fits the way you already work. So don't ask which one wins. Ask which one saves you the most time on the jobs you actually do. Which of these three are you using right now or thinking of trying? Let me know in the comments, and if this helped you out, like and subscribe for more videos like this.